Hi,
Hey
hi.
guys, how
Hi.
are you?
Good. How you
Good. How are
doing?
you?
I am loving High School Musical, the musical, the series, which I did not to be, condescending, but I would not have expected to love it because
I
I
I just
loved the original as a youth. So,
when I heard about the show, I was like, they're gonna ruin High School Musical, but here we are.
but you didn't. You guys did great.
Yeah.
So first things first, Joshua, uh, how are Nini and Ricky at the start of season two? How are we adjusting? We know we left off on a bit of a, you know, potential separation. So
Yes, lots of questions in the air, lots of uncertainty. Ricky, we pick up essentially right where we left off with everybody. But with Ricky and Nini, yeah, they finally get back together, and now there's this awesome opportunity for her to potentially go to this school, and that brings a whole new round of problems. But I can't tell you too much. But it is a rocky road. Shocker, I know, but yeah, there's lots of unexpected twists and turns.
I love, well, I don't love Rocky Road, but I do love unexpected twists and turns.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Matt, EJ seems his heart seems to have healed from Nini breaking it last season, or perhaps himself breaking it and doing it to himself. It's okay.
That's more likely.
But what is EJ focused on this season, and how is he preparing for his future?
Yeah, I think a big thing that he's focused on this season is just trying to figure out himself and find out who he really is and what is important to him. With being a second semester senior in season two, he is trying to kind of figure out what his future holds and whether that's school or whatnot. There's certain paths that his family has followed in, going down generations that he is like, I need to follow in these footsteps to make my family proud. But he slowly starts to realize that, like what's most important is your group and the people around you and the people that love you and, just enjoying every moment that you have as you're having it.
That's a good lesson for everyone to learn.
Yes.
And speaking of lessons, Miss Jen loves to dole them out as the episodes go on in very quirky and kooky ways. Is there anything that Miss Jen has taught you, or that High School Musical in general has taught you in the process of these two seasons?
Mm. Well, I mean, Matt just kind of said it, but I think that sort of idea of what's really important to you and who's really important to you, and is it worth all like the bitterness, and because season two it's a very competitive season, and not just within the cast, within the other school now, it's like a lot of exciting new parts and world and everything, and I think that there's a certain level of competitiveness that's super healthy for sure, but I think it kind of poses the question of like, again, what's worth it, what grudges and what things are worth holding on to, and ultimately, like, are you making the best of your situation, no matter what, like, and really enjoying it, or like at the end of the day you're going to look back and be like, wow, why was I so hell-bent on beating this person in a role, or was I so hell-bent on getting this sort of attention, and when it's like, when in reality, like, that's just never worth it. And I don't know, I think that it really sort of highlights your chosen family, and like making sure that you remember to prioritize those people and to love them, and all the good things. So that's like a key takeaway that I think I've had from this season for sure.
I
And trust
love
the
that.
process, as
Yes.
Miss Jen says.
Oh yeah.
That is an excellent one. Trust the process. Um, Speaking of that competition that you so eloquently dived into, how does having the competition this season open up new doors or open up the world for your characters?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, not to keep like kind of going around the same topic, but I feel like a huge thing for kind of every character this
Family.
family. Thank you. Um,
Like Fast
no,
and the Furious.
I think a huge thing is throughout the competition and getting caught up in awards and this and that and beating the other school and everything. I feel like everybody starts to kind of realize, hey, like we have each other, we have family, like that's what's most important here. So basically, yes, just family.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah, I mean, no, I was just gonna say that the other school does a really good job of sort of weaseling their way into East High, and the best way to take down another school is from the inside out, and so I think that they make their way in and sort of ruffle feathers, and it's all in the name of competition. But the way they do it is pretty clever.
All's fair in love and theater. I love
Yes.
it. Now, Matt, speaking of literal family, Ashlyn and EJ have such a really sweet dynamic. I really love to see them supporting each other. So can you talk about potentially the ways in which they will be supporting each other this season?
Yeah, I think for sure that's something that's, you know, changing a little bit this season as well. It's like season one, like they, you know, obviously they're family, but I feel like season one EJ almost took advantage of Ashlyn and used her as his kind of little doll, I guess, like just to kind of like throw things at here and there. And in the second season, he truly like goes to her for advice, and you know, she comes to him to talk to him, and like the things that she tells him, I think he truly takes to heart more, and he truly listens to her more than usual. And you know, there's one episode specifically that's super fun. I can't say too much, but you get to see them kind of play, you know, have a little bit more playfulness with each other. That's so much fun, and it was a blast to shoot that episode.
I can't wait to see that. Joshua, I really like Ricky, and what I find fascinating about him is that the show actually deals with the fact that maybe he's not the most reliable person, right? He's a really good guy, he's a good friend, but sometimes you can't necessarily count on him when you want to, or even when he wants to be counted on. How would you say he's dealing with that or growing from that this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, the thing about people who are unreliable is ultimately they pay the price for it, you know, because people don't rely on them. And like, I think that, you know, Ricky, it's like the second it's, you know, I'm trying, what's the analogy? It's like the second he glues one side together, the other side falls apart. He's running around and he really is like trying his best is the thing. And like, there's just parts that he just needs to grow up about and like learn and figure out how to manage himself and how to take care of himself and everyone else. Meanwhile, there's so much changing in his everyday life that he just has a hard time keeping up with that. I don't remember exactly what your question was, but
I mean, you're kind of answering it. Just how is he growing? Do you think he's grappling with his unreliableness this season?
Yes, but it's not an easy journey for sure. Yeah.
Understandably so. Now, looking back at season one, since we don't want to spoil the wonders of season two, what has been your favorite musical number from the first season?
I think either Get Your Head in the Game or the finale. One of those two were so much fun, just because almost everybody in the group was involved. Definitely in the finale, everybody was involved, but in Get Your Head in the Game, it was just so much fun because, like, just as a number in a whole, like in itself, it was such a blast. We got to use basketballs, which I love basketball. Yeah, it was a blast.
I love that.
Gotta say, not to steal Matt's answer or whatever, but Get Your Head in the Game was pretty great. I mean, that was like the most fun I've ever had. Every time we did it, it was just this giant rush of dopamine. Like every time we did it, it was like 3 minutes of pure happiness, and then I'd be like, "Can we do it again? Can we do it again?" So yeah, we did Get Your Head in the Game like a lot of times, but I would do it a lot more. You know.
You know, I have to say,
somebody quote me on that. We did Get Your Head in the Game a lot of times, but I do it a lot more times. Wow.
Joshua Bassett, 2021. I have to say really quickly, dance is very new to me, and Get Your Head in the Game was the moment that I think I actually started in like really enjoying dance.
Oh, that's wonderful then.
It was stress at first for me. But after Get Your Head in the Game, that's when I was like, this is actually fun.
That's great. I would not have known that you were new to it, so you did very well.
Well,
thank you both so much. I cannot wait for everyone to witness season 2 and many more wonderful songs.